Hey YouTube, got something real exciting today, a 2001 Mustang V6. Uh, it's my daily driver. I thought I'd do a quick video on it. It's really not that bad. I want to get into this a little bit and do a quick test drive. So bear with me here. Here it is, nothing special. One of many silver cars on the road nowadays. It's a 31,000 mile car. Got it off the original owner. Changed all the fluids in it, which it needed. Still had the original Goodyears on it when I bought it a while back. But it's been garage. You can see these headlights aren't really faded at all. Most of the time they are. I just keep maybe some regular wax on them a couple of times a year, and they seem to stay pretty clear. The original wheels are in good shape. I just put some Kumos on it. Forget what exact type they are. 225 series tires, factory size. But it's in nice shape. A few little scratches here and there, but the 99 to 2004 is considered like the new edge Mustang, is what they call those. Got my little P-51 Air Force emblem there for the Mustang. The Ford emblem was kind of faded, so I thought that'd be a cool little touch. But yeah, they're actually pretty cool. Let me get to the engine here. Now this has the later 3.8 liter. Bear with me. Sorry. These were actually rated at 190 horse, up a substantial amount from the V6. Started in 94 on these, the SN95s, but not much going on. I mean, it's they changed a lot. Modifications I've done is obviously the cold, the K&N cold air intake, and a set of E3 spark plugs. These seem to really like those. And that's about it. I mean, it's easy to work on. I put the spark plugs in 15 minutes. Just basically took out the intake tube there for the passenger side plugs, and all these were pretty easy to get to on this side. Plenty of room to work. I like it. And these are very reliable. I frequently see these with 300,000 miles plus. And as far as other modifications, I've done a GT rear sway bar on it, because the 99 to 04 V6 did not have a rear sway bar, so it definitely made a big difference. Definitely handles quite a bit better. So yeah, I mean, just nothing really fancy with this one. Just the charcoal colored interior. It's an automatic. Of course, I would have preferred the 5-speed, but yeah, pretty much the same interior from 94 to 2004. It does have the Mach 460 stereo. I mean, 6-disc CD changer. It sounds good enough to me. Thought about maybe upgrading that later. Did have the kind of the deluxe interior here, but really the only leather you're getting is this portion here of the top, and then this. Everything else in the interior is vinyl. So let's get this in here. Sorry folks, nothing fancy here as usual. But the high points, I mean, they're good on gas. They're very reliable. Sporty. I mean, they don't handle as well as a lot of these newer cars, but for something older, it's pretty respectable. Seats are comfortable. It's easy to drive, good visibility everywhere I look. Has a fair amount of power with the cold air intake and the spark plugs. The E3s helped a little bit too. Probably a bit over 200 horsepower now. Go on a quick drive here. This isn't going to be a very long video like some of mine, but I just think it makes an excellent daily. I really do. Let's go ahead and put that on before we exit. I'm sure everybody will love to hear the annoying seatbelt chime. Now, this being a 2001, like I would say, I'd compare it to a 2002 Z28 I used to have. Obviously, it's not going to have the power. And I do lean a lot towards General Motors, but as far as just a good, reliable car, this is great for a daily driver. Plenty of pickup to get onto the freeways. The gas mileage, I would say, is about 30 miles to the gallon now. With the intake and the E3 plugs, it did help the gas mileage a little bit as well. One gripe I would have is I'd say the factory suspension is just a bit soft. I would recommend maybe some IBAC springs combined with some Conies or Bilsteins or even some KYBs. I was going to say Takiko, but as many of you know, they're hard to get the parts that are left, and they're not around anymore. Unfortunately, I love those. I love that company. Yeah, the factory suspension's just a little bit soft for me. And there's a lot of wheel gap, as I'm sure you noticed before. That would definitely help improve its stance. But yeah, modifications, the sky's the limit with the, I mean, there's supercharger kits. You can do a Ford Windstar intake swap, which really helps. I mean, they make camshafts, long tube headers. You can put an 8.8 from a Mustang GT in the back of this if you wanted limited slip. I mean, if I was going to do any or all of that, I would have bought one with a 5-speed. Because they're pretty quick for what they are. The V6 with a 5-speed this year, pretty impressive for stock. It's nice. It's a nice little cruiser. Easy to drive. Easy to maintain. Not the most exciting review video in the world, but hey, life's too short to drive a minivan. Or I'm not an SUV guy, sorry. Just no, not for me. I gotta drive something. If I'm gonna drive something every day, I at least have to have something like this. Insurance is cheap. If you're gonna get, say, maybe a first car for your kids, it's a good, reliable car. You know, these aren't known for a whole lot of problems. It doesn't handle too bad. For the 22-year-old shocks and struts, it's not bad at all. Yeah, the first car, I mean, it would make a good car for school, a good work car. Like I said, the gas mileage is pretty good. And I kind of like the design. Share your thoughts. I mean, they had a different body style from 1994 to 1998. I kind of have no preference myself. I had a 95 GT, had a 94 V6. Definitely up on the power with this car, though. But yeah, as far as the body style goes, I like it. I like the new Edge, the 99 to 04. I do like the new Edge. My dad bought a 2001 GT, and it was like a bright yellow color. I forget the exact name. It's a good looking car. Maybe a little bit timeless. The interior, you can tell, it's a little plastic. Well, okay, it's a lot plasticky. Definitely reminiscent of the late 90s and early 2000s, but I mean, it's a work car. It's a daily driver. I still really like it. The fast cars are fun, but I like to do something normal like this maybe once in a while. And it's a joy. I mean, I'm kind of have a smile on my face driving it around these back roads, taking some turns. Does pretty well for just some Kumos on it. Not a whole lot of body roll. The rear sway bar definitely helped that, because it was kind of bad when I bought it without. And I got one from, I believe it was a 94 GT. If you're going to get that rear sway bar upgrade, just kind of make sure it includes the little clips and the bolts. And it literally took me 5 minutes to install. It just literally bolts to the back suspension. Pretty easy. There's a brake line, and then there's just an open hole that you would use on each side. Very simple. Definitely a good modification. I spent 40 bucks, you know, and you could buy these aftermarket sway bars for one of these. They want $150, $200. You know, I'm like, 40 bucks, yeah. How could I not? So, okay, here's 30 mile an hour. Alright, no problem, 55. Yeah, it handles nice. It's a nice mix compared to, say, like my 2002 Z28, which did handle a bit better than this. But this one rides nicer. A little easier to get in and out of. Give it a little gas here. Plenty of power. Plenty of power. It's all you need. I mean, and just for those two little things I did, it runs great. It feels like about maybe 205, maybe 210 horsepower. It runs nice. It runs nice. I run synthetic oil. I run Mobil 1. Mobil 1 filter as well. Never let me down. Might seem silly that I do a 2001 V6 Mustang review, but I hope a lot of you like it. I like the car. I really do. And I had a 2000 red V6 Mustang convertible, and that car, the only issue, I had 158,000 miles on it when I sold it. Never an issue. The only issue I ever had was, and I don't know what year Ford remedied it, but I had a power steering line that would kind of rub on an area underneath, and it started to leak. And I caught it before my pump went bad, and I just replaced the line, and the way I adjusted it, when I tightened it down, it was not going to hit again. Other than that, no issues, like ever. All I did was change the oil and, you know, the fluids, typical maintenance stuff. It runs pretty good. Puts a little smile on my face. It's an open rear end. They're not limited slip in the V6 or anything, but I noticed the same on this car as my 2000. I had the same modifications, the K&N cold air intake, the E3 plugs, and after I did those two things, this thing will squawk the tire when shifting to second every time now. It didn't do that before those modifications, so I definitely gained some little more power and torque. It's not fast, but it's got enough power to be fun. So yeah, let me know your thoughts. Thanks again to all of you for the subscribes and likes and commenting on my posts or my videos here. It's a good time. I'm starting not to see as many of these Mustangs on the road as I used to, but there's still quite a few out there. And a lot of them with high miles that are still running pretty nice. When I sold mine with all those miles on it, it still ran great. I think I traded it for an 88 Firebird V6 or something like that. I wanted to get back into the F-bodies again. I may do a few more things. I may do like an MSD coil pack and some MSD wires. But as far as, yeah, like I said, I'm not going to do anything crazy to this car. Just A, because it's my daily, B, because it's an automatic. I don't see as much power gains out of an automatic that I would say a manual, like the 5-speed. Okay, wait here. Get out onto the road a little bit. Okay, I'll do a little second gear pull here. And now. And I'm not this hard on the car when I drive it every day. I mean, this is for the video. And you know what though? It doesn't hurt to clean them out once in a while. I run 93 in everything. I mean, I run it in this car. I run it in my lawnmower. It just keeps them cleaner. And I've never had any kind of fuel system problems in any car. My mowers, I never have to replace the spark plugs. I can leave them sitting all winter, and they start right up with 93 in them. Just my recommendation. I know there's different schools of thought and different opinions on that, but I'm just telling you from my own personal experience. And a lot of these older cars didn't like ethanol as much. I would recommend 93 Shell V-Power. That is only 5% ethanol as of now. Now, I don't know how long that's going to be that way, but I know it is right now. So something to think about for these older cars that, you know, may not necessarily be as adept with using 10% ethanol, which is what most modern fuels run now. So yeah, thanks for watching, everybody. Share your thoughts with me on this car. It's a good car. It's just a good car. A great daily driver, reliable, good on gas, plenty of power, fun to drive, easy to maintain. Thanks for watching.